here. And let's go ahead and just take a moment to get sitting up on our blankets. Maybe just cross here at your ankles or at your shins. So let's just try to relax. There's still a lot going on, a lot that we're digesting, processing. So let's just take a moment to take it easy. So let's bring your hands here for a moment onto your shins and then lengthen out through the top of your head. So I just want you to see how comfortably, how naturally can you sit tall. Good, and then take a second, maybe just rock your weight a little bit side to side on your sits bones. And just notice if you feel any tightness in either the front or the back of the hips. And just let that kind of melt away. Let's leave your hands here on your hips for a moment. And then as you press your hips down, go ahead, stretch your spine forward. When the spine comes forward, you'll feel more stretch in the back of the hips, maybe in that sacroiliac area. So try that just a few times, also encouraging the weight of your legs to kind of ground down. Good. Wonderful. So let's take one more big stretch forward. And then exhale and make this now a cat-cow. So you're rounding back from the middle of your spine. Inhale, the sternum bone's moving forward, front of the throat stretching. And then exhale, moving that back, letting the head melt down. Good. And then we're going to inhale, stretch, reach your sternum up once again. And exhale, just let that round back. Oh, I could do that. Let's do two more. Inhale, coming forward. And then exhale, rounding back. Let's sit all the way up. Take your arms, make a little cactus shape. And then from here, just circle the arms a few times. You're checking in with your shoulder joints. How you feeling? Good. Maybe inhaling as the arms come up. Exhale as they float down. Good. And then let's pause here with your two arms up. And we're going to stretch and reach almost like a little bow, right? The arms are going to pull down and feel that deep stretch in the opposite side of your back. As you lower, we'll inhale, come up. And exhale, coming over. Good. Trying this just a few times, letting the chest, the armpit area get a nice stretch. Good for the lymphatics, among other things. Good. Inhale, coming. Sit all the way up nice and tall. And then let's exhale, just create a twist. Inhale, reaching right back up. Exhale, create a twist. Inhale, the two arms coming up. You'll exhale and twist. Inhale up and exhale, twist. One more time, each direction. Good. So feeling the muscles in the front of you, supporting that length in the spine. Good. So now let's take a pause here for just a moment. Bring your fingers interlaced, your hands behind the head. Let the head come back and rest in your hands, letting this open in the chest. Good. Give it a good 5 breaths or so. Feeling your lungs expand with each inhale. Release and relax with every exhale. Wonderful. Bringing your head right back up. Let's now move all the way around in a little circle. Good. Perhaps inhaling as your weight moves forward, exhaling as the weight moves back. Good. And we'll change that direction. This is recommended in Ayurveda, this movement. I think I've told you before. It's like a pre-dinner before you eat. It's supposed to help get the digestive fire going in your center. Good. So now let's pause for just a moment right back there in your center and go ahead, unfold your two legs. And from here, we're going to stretch, reach out. So stretch and reach through balls of the feet, through the heels. And again, just feeling yourself get nice and tall. Let's Let's go ahead and open one leg. I'm going to open my left. You do whichever side makes the most sense to you. Bring that foot up to my thigh. Come stretch forward. Inhale, let the sternum stretch, reach up and out. And then once again, you're going to exhale, round over. Let's try that just a couple of times. So really focus on a stretch in the calf and in the hip and the hamstring as you come forward. Good. And exhaling back. Let's do that one more time. Coming forward. Wonderful. So now from here, I'm going to take my opposite hand to that foot and then just pull over and stretch a little more deeply. Oh, we're going to inhale, take that back up once again. And exhale, change the position of the two legs with the arms up in the air. Push the foot there into the thigh. And once again, bring the hands down comfortably to the floor. And you'll move your sternum forward. And then exhale, allow the weight to rock back. Move your sternum forward. And exhale, moving back. Inhale, moving forward, keeping the firmness there in the lengthening leg, and then exhale back. So now you'll inhale, come up, come stretch forward. Opposite hand is going to reach towards that foot, and you're going to pull back with that arm. Good. And you'll notice that this now takes the stretch into your sacroiliac area. Good. And now we'll inhale and bring that all the way back up. Let's extend two legs. Good. And now come stretch forward once again. Use each exhale to move the rib cage a little bit further forward. Good. We'll inhale, bring our arms back up. Bring your hands now underneath your shoulders, and you're going to press down with the hands and up through the back of the neck. Okay, so let your whole spine lengthen as you press the legs down towards the floor. Feel the chest open. Let each exhale find a little more length in your spine. Good. We'll sweep the arms back out. And now let the legs open as well. Good. And it's nice to, I think I've said this, you've all heard me say this before, but getting your legs to move without using your hands is a really great way to keep your core and your smaller muscles engaged. So just go ahead and stretch and reach over one leg and back, over one leg and back. So now you might feel this through the sides of the back, through the inner thighs. Just enjoy discovering a little more length. Good. Taking that just a couple more times. And then from here, we're going to inhale and exhale, twist towards one leg. And once again, just hold that stretch. So as I move towards this leg, my opposite leg, I'm trying to lengthen out here. Good. Now from this position, I'm going to open up and let that top arm reach overhead. Good. You can let the neck just check in with it. Make sure you're not holding any tension. Good. Now let the bottom arm start to float up to meet the top. Enjoy a big long stretch here, and then we're going to twist towards the opposite leg. And now I'm really going to actively reach out through that leg, the leg I'm not bent over. Good. Give it a few breaths. Good. And now you can take that top arm up Good. Releasing your neck. Inhale, let's sit up. Slide one leg in. I'm going to go with my left one. And then I'm going to bend my right. Take my hand. So again, just go same way I'm going or go opposite me, whatever's easiest. And from there, I'm going to extend this leg just up any amount. My back is saying yes. Good. I'm going to open and let that arm and leg float out in space. Good. Continue to check in with your neck. Squeeze the shoulder blades together so those muscles are active and alert. Good. Now let that leg cross the midline of your body so that I'm stretching now the outside of the leg. Good. Send energy into the heel. You know, it's a developmental thing for you. I'm sure you that are moms remember babies touching their feet. And I notice when Bronwyn really needs to relax, even now she does that. She starts just playing with her feet. So maybe there's a lesson there. So now what I've done is I've just taken my top leg, bent the knee, let it come down over the bottom. And this is a pretty intense stretch for the leg that's on top. So now if you like, take your weight a little forward. You can also put a block or a pillow here to support you. Good. And then let that piriformis, let that muscles there, the external rotators deep in that hip, get a stretch. Wonderful. Take one more big breath, come up, and then if you'd like, now slide your two knees a little closer together. Good. And then feeling yourself sit tall. Whatever leg is on top, take the opposite arm up. Good. Now take that same hand behind your back. And the hand that's in the air, those fingers start to walk down the spine. So please don't try to force your hands to come together behind you, but instead just inch the fingertips centimeter by centimeter, a little closer together. And then if your hands make contact, great. If your hands don't make contact, that's also great. Just enjoy the lengthening of the spine, opening of the chest, deep stretch in your hips. Right. And we're going to exhale, release. And from this position, I'm bringing my fingertips back behind me. I'm going to open my legs all the way up. So stretch coming up, opening wide. Arms in the air, little softness in the elbows to prevent that hyperextension. Good. So now I'm going to bring the opposite leg in first. For me, that will be the right leg. Good. Now I'm going to bend the left, take my hand there to the foot, and exhale, create a stretch. This heel is right in line with my sitting bone. And I'm just sending, the more you can stretch the toes back towards you, the deeper the stretch will happen in your calf. Many of us are kind of chronically tight right here. Good. Remember, pulling the shoulder blades together helps you extend the spine. Good. Use an exhale to just open the leg. Beautiful. One more exhale, and then let that leg come across the midline of the body. Send energy now really deeply out into the heel to reach the ribs a little closer to the thigh. Good. Feeling the depth of that stretch there in your hip. Tensor fascia lata, gluteus medius, all kinds of good things happening there. And then from here, we're going to bend the knee, bring that foot in. So now you've stacked. This is for me, my left leg over my right, and I'm creating that deepened stretch in the hip, the legs stacked. Inhale, taking the arms out for a moment. Now exhale, bring your weight forward. Little cat-cow. So just think about extending now the head and tail away from each other. So this is just low back therapy, right? When your low back's in extension, think about the head really reaching up and out. It's just honoring how the spine is designed to work. We're in deep flexion here. And then exhale, finding that extension forward. Beautiful. Aw. You all look comfortable. It's like I want to smile. Dorothy said, no, not comfortable. Ugh. All right. So now let's inhale, come up, and then slide your two thighs together. So again, these are moves I like to do hands-free, like I like to drive. All right, so feel those kneecaps. And then again, it's an opportunity to kind of walk your feet towards your body. Good. This is my left leg on top. I know it's kind of hard to see. So I'm going to take my opposite arm in the air and then wrap that hand around my back. So I feel like I've watched people really hurt their shoulders trying to force their hands to come together. And I don't want to, I'm not into that. So see if you can reach the hand just up your back. Good. Letting those fingertips walk in. Maybe the arm adducts a little bit. And then this arm can reach back. And again, just walk your fingers down the spine. Appreciate your vertebra. Good. Oh. Just noticing where there might be hidden tension. It's making itself known. Good. Give it your big breaths, your full attention. And then from there, when you feel ready, just go ahead, exhale, release, roll your shoulders for just a moment. Take your hands back, undo your legs with your knees bent now. You can take your feet just a little bit apart, stretch your hips one way, and then we're gonna come and stretch your hips the other way. Coming over and around. Good. Good. So it's almost like a little W, and we're taking that side to side. All right. So now I'm going to come off of my blanket and start making my way down to the floor. This is my left side, if that is helpful for you for orientation. So I got my sits bones here on the edge of my little blanket. I'm going to stretch and come forward. Let your head rest here. Let your neck melt. So the weight of the head stretches your neck. And then we're going to inhale, sit all the way up. And exhale, start to bring your hands here back behind the legs, and you can float just down to the floor. Hug the knees for a moment over your chest. Just rock your back, getting comfortable on this plane. From here, you can now open your arms and then take your knees to one side, and then exhale. Let the knees travel to the opposite side. So using your breath, just got a nice little adjustment in my back. Keep squeezing the thighs together. Good. Keep anchoring your shoulder blades, but let the hips come up as much as they need to. Good. So now we're going to pause and you're going to just create a little bicycling movement with your legs. So one leg's reaching out, opposite leg is pulling back. Good. Send energy through your heels. Feel a steadiness gathering in your abdomen, supporting the legs. Good. Go ahead and reverse that. Wonderful. So now let's pause with your right leg up. Take your hands, just rest them on your left leg. And then let the right leg circle a few times in the hip socket. Oh, I've been found. Sounds like a toddler unattended to. All right. Then circle that leg the other way. Good. Just enjoying that stretch in your hip socket. Feeling your own mobility there. Beautiful. Go ahead, bend that knee. Let the opposite leg now stretch up in the air. And then same thing. Just feel, push the hip to go any further than it wants or needs to go. Just discover where that safe, healthy range of motion is for you. Go ahead, change the direction. Good. Take a pause, bend this knee. Let's clasp both hands around once again. And now exhale, lift your head and chest. Good. Taking your gaze up to your belly. Good. One more big breath. Keeping your focus there in your center. Well, exhale, release, come down, open the arms. And now let's try circling both legs just a few times. Good. If it lets your tailbone rock up a little bit and that feels nice, do that. Wonderful. We'll change the direction the legs are circling. One down, reaching out and away. Wonderful. Take a little pause, point, flex your feet. Good. This time with your legs extended, take your hands behind the thighs and you'll exhale, lift up, creating a lot of reach. Good. So now from here, we're going to bend the knees, place the feet on the floor, let the arms melt down to your sides. Then extend your fingertips, reach them towards your heels. And then let's take a few breaths to just lightly hop the feet in the floor. So a toe ball heel, just bounce. Good. Feeling a springing action in your feet. It's like jumping without the weight of your whole body. Good. So now push your feet down and let the pelvis rise up. Good. Give this a few breaths. Your heels right under your knees. Good. The heels pressing down. Fingertips reaching, chest opening. Shoulder blades pulling together. Good. Take one more big breath here. And then we'll exhale and bring your knees back over your chest. Now bring your palms together. We're going to stretch and reach arms and legs away. Now pull back to your center. So stretch and reach your arms, pull away, and they move back. Stretch and reach out. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, reach. Exhale back. Just a couple more times. Inhale and exhale. Good. If it feels nice to hold the arms and legs out for just a few breaths. Again, firm, anchored through your belly. Give that a go. Reaching out through your pinky. Let that go. And then from here, once again, feet to the floor. Push your feet down and now bring your palms together underneath you. Then you'll just deepen this back bend. Let's give it a good 5 to 10 breaths. Feel firm anchor in your feet, the outsides of the arms pushing down, chest opening. Good. One more big exhale and then you can release. So let's try bringing your pelvis up a little bit. So softening your knees and pulling deep with your belly. You can extend the legs and take the legs up if you'd like. So if this feels comfortable for you in a little relaxed plow pose, just try that. Good. Feeling your weight there in the middle of your back and your shoulder blades. So stay here, stay comfortable, or take your hands to your hips and then just move your weight into your hands and extend the legs. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you at all, then just simply lift the legs in the air. Viparita Karani as you stretch. If you want to gather your weight, lift it up a hair higher. It's an option. Good. Make sure your neck feels long, supported. One more big breath. And then you can bend the knees, release them forward, and slowly lower the bones of your back down to the floor. Let's push your feet down. Press the elbows and just lift onto the top of your head. Good. Feel some deep breaths. Clearing out your neck. And then from here, you'll exhale, let that come down. Let the knees open for a moment. Really feel the hip area release. Now from this position, if it feels comfortable to squeeze your feet, push them in and lift the hips for just a few breaths. Exhale, letting that come down. From here, I'll take my two arms up and then I'm going to slowly roll towards the computer. So now this is my right side on top. Good. So I'm going to open my top arm and top leg. Just let them float. Good. As I do this, I'm going to push the bottom leg into the floor. Good. Try that just a couple more times. A little therapy for the hip. Good. On your next exhale, leave those limbs in the air. Good. And then we're going to bring your elbow and your knee together. Stretch and reach your limbs away and then bring them right back. Stretch, reach away, bring the limbs in. Stretch and reach away, bring the limbs in. Good. Just taking your time exploring your shoulder, exploring your hip. How do they feel? How are they working? Good. Let's take the arm and the leg out and now lift them together and lower them together. Arm and leg up and then down and then up and down. Good. All right. After your next round here, see about holding those limbs in space. You can take your hand anywhere on this leg that feels comfortable to you. The leg pull towards the body just a hair. Good. You can slide the bottom leg long now. Good. Reach through 10 toes. Good. This top foot is now going to move down towards the bottom thigh, top arm, overhead. It's again continuing to stretch. Good. So now the top knee is going to travel forward and the top arm travels back. Give yourself a few breaths right here. Stretch in the hip, stretch in the armpit. And then let's go ahead and tuck all those limbs in, pull them close. Push with your top arm and exhale, holding your weight up. Good, a little stretch forward and exhale, rounding back. It's almost like a cat-cow on your side, stretching forward and exhale, rounding back. Good, let's try that one more time. Stretch, reaching forward. Your front arm, top arm is going to open. Good. We'll push with that bottom hand. And then let's just bring ourselves onto the other side. We'll take that same sequence. Just notice for a moment as you're coming down how your two hips feel. Sort of the difference. I almost like that side we've already worked just feels very alive to me. So now you're gonna walk those fingertips out. I'm gonna open and close. So push your top foot into the bottom foot as you lift the knee. That's a big part of hip function. Where are you pushing down? And really being able to ground and anchor your energy in your feet. A couple more. Use a long exhale to lift. Wonderful. So now you're going to pause and let's exhale. Take the elbow and the knee together and then reach them away. So you pull in, feeling a little bit of work in your obliques. Good. Long arms, long legs, steady hips. Bottom leg is an anchor here. Letting the arm and leg just move gently, lightly through space. Wonderful. So now we're going to take the limbs up and down. They'll lower together, they'll lift together. Good, just lightness in the limbs. Good. After your next round here, let's go ahead and let those legs stay up. Take the hand anywhere on the leg that feels comfortable. The leg wants to come a little closer to you. Just enjoy that stretch. Good. You can now extend the bottom leg out. Maybe bend slightly in that top arm. Good. And then this knee, let it bend. Pull back towards your body and then place the foot there on the thigh. Top arm comes over the bottom arm. And let your body just lengthen out. Breath's getting deeper, getting longer. Wonderful. And then this top leg, let it travel forward. Your top arm travels back. Good. Big exhale helps us slide those limbs together. Push up with your bottom arm or that top arm. And then once again, kind of remain here for a moment in a little half cat cow. Letting the sternum move forward and then back. Good. So now from this position, I'm going to push firmly with my arms and feet, hands and feet, and then come to all fours. So I'm walking my hands up just a hair further than my shoulders. I'm going to reach my hips back for a moment and let my tailbone just move up, 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 up. Good. And then from here, let's go ahead, take your tailbone, let it move forward. So we're going to reverse that a few times. Let the tailbone come up, the head float down. And then exhale, wait, and as you feel ready, let the tailbone float down and your head come up. So try that just with intention there, checking in with your shoulders. Good. Reaching, releasing. Good. Feeling that connection through your core. Good. Try that maybe just one more time. No rush. And then let's exhale. Let your head come down. Come to let it rest. I'm going to now let the top of my head come and rest on the floor. Bring my palms together. Now, if it feels nice, go ahead and move your weight back and stretch. Come up on your knees here for a moment. Now with your arms. Oh, hello, child. Exhale, reach your hands down and your sternum up. Wonderful. Go ahead, let your two hands now move forward. And I'm going to slide my left foot up. So it's just to the outside of my left hand. And then try that same. I'm going to just move some weight back for a moment. And then use a big exhale to move some weight forward. So the tailbone now reaching forward. Good. Feeling a deep stretch through your hip. Support this any way you need to. Either some cushion behind your back knee. Good. Now from here, reaching your weight back again. Let that foot, your front foot, come across the midline. Good. So it's now moved to the opposite hand. And then you can bring your hips down. Good. So we'll do a little pigeon stretch here. Again, targeting the back of the hip. Letting your sternum bone slide out over towards the shin. Good. Again, prop your hips if you need to. So put a pillow underneath your sits bone or underneath the opposite hip. Your body is agreeing to it and it's feeling nice. Let the head come down and take just a few breaths. And then from here, I'm going to push down with my arms to let my head come up. Good. Same thing. Keep that energy firm in the arms as you curl your back toes back behind you. Lift your hip. Slide the leg back. And everybody just kind of relax for a moment with the head down and the tailbone up. And from here, once again, I'm going to push down with my arms and then let now my right foot come forward. So I'm taking my right foot to the outside of my right hand. And then I'm going to reach my weight back. In a deep stretch here. And then we'll exhale and bring that weight forward, letting your hips just lightly melt, supporting with your arms. So not letting the scapula collapse, but keep that energy there by pulling the shoulder blades together. Good. Supporting the stretch of your hip. And now from here, we're going to walk that weight back just a little. And then the foot is going to just come across your body here for a moment. Stretch. Good. And then from there, we're just going to fold. And perhaps now, if it feels right, let your hips slide all the way down. And so you can start just getting your hips comfortable. You can put a prop pillow here or underneath the opposite sitting bone, whatever is going to feel better to your hips. I'm just offering them a little support. Good, so you can stay right here. Or if it feels nice, bring your forearms down. Good, so important to pay attention to gravity here because the weight of your body is over is over the hip, my right hip. So just pay attention to how your that hip joint is responding. Good. And if it feels nice to let yourself come a little lower, wonderful. Push down with the arms, lift your head, walk your hands back towards the body, lift and stretch once again. The back toes can curl underneath you, the hips can lift. Take the knee back. And now, if you'd like, go ahead, just stretch. Take your sits bones down towards your heels. Let the head come rest on the floor. Wonderful. We'll come up one more time, all fours, and then take one arm back behind you. So this is my left arm. I'm just feeling muscles in my tricep there, holding the arm up. Gonna scoop my belly, slide the arm underneath me. So trying to stretch that area in between the spine and the shoulder blade, the rhomboids. Let's push with the supporting hand to bring yourself right back up. Take that stretch on the opposite side. The arm lifts. Good. The rib cage scoops as the arm pulls underneath you nice and slow. And then you can exhale and just stay here for a moment, really feeling that space between the scapula and the shoulder blade. Good, and then again with this supporting hand, push down, lift up, take a little cat-cow. And let's just turn over and come for a brief little moment here in a Shavasana. So I'm gonna give myself a little light back bend by putting a meditation cushion here and letting my head come down to the floor. Or in the direction of the floor. It's not quite touching the floor. Let's begin to move the breath in and out of your nose. Feel your fingertips relaxed. Toes relaxed. Muscles in your face are softening with each breath. Feeling your belly fill up. With each inhale, maybe holding that inhale for a moment or two, and then exhaling deeply. And now you can inhale, take your arms up alongside the ears. And let's exhale, bend our knees. Oh, when you feel ready, you can roll to one side. Press up with the strength in your arms. And we'll find ourselves seated together. Okay, and you can bring your palms together before the heart. We'll bow the head and close the eyes. Your practice is a gift, everyone. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Namaste.